Well, it's June of 2025 and Adobe has given us what they call a dot update. They're usually small updates, but this one's actually pretty big. It's got some pretty big features inside of it. So if you're looking at versions, we're on Lightroom Classic 14.4, Camera Raw 17.4, and Lightroom 8.4. So all of these programs have all of the new updates. And as always, Adobe is the place to go if you can't update or have trouble with that. The comment section and asking me, I can't help you with it, but you can go to your Adobe Creative Cloud Updater, check for updates. Sometimes restarting it or restarting your computer kind of jogs it into getting those updates for you. As we jump into them, they might look familiar. If you use Camera Raw or Photoshop at all, these have been in there in some kind of a beta or technology preview feature. So you might have seen some of these features before, but they haven't been inside of either version of Lightroom. So everything I'm about to show you here is in both versions of Lightroom. Let's go ahead and get started. I've got Lightroom Classic open, and to get to both of the new features, you're going to go to the little toolbar up there. You'll even notice it might look a little bit different. There's one new icon over on the right hand side. This is an AI update status. You can click on it to see if there's any AI tools that have been used on the photo. You can go and click on that. It'll expose it and it'll help you figure out if any of the AI features need to actually be updated. But we're going to go straight to the good stuff. Click on that little eraser icon. You're going to see reflections and people down here. Okay, so reflections and people are the new one. People is the one we'll work on here. All you got to do is just click on that little arrow. It opens it up. The first time through, I've already practiced on this photo, so it did probably take 6 or 7 seconds to generate this. So the first time through, it does take a little bit longer. And it's going to go in there and highlight the people that it finds in the photo. If it finds people or something you don't want it to, all you got to do is just go click on that little edit pin and then hit the delete key, and that goes away. But come down here, you can see you don't really have too many options from this. You go ahead and hit remove, and Lightroom's going to go remove all that for you. Once it's done, it even gives you a little thing. It's actually telling us what this new AI edit status does, to say that AI edits used on the photo need to be updated in order to display properly. So I'm actually glad that that happened, because it shows us the use of this new little tool there, because it used to happen before. It was just kind of buried and hidden, so you didn't quite know that it needed to be updated. So now you can come up here to this icon, and you can go in there and it's actually highlighted what needs to be updated. So you just hit update, and it's essentially, I had applied the adaptive profile to this photo, and it's essentially reapplying it to the photo now that there's been changes to it. Okay. All right. From here, back to our people removal. You'll notice here, to regenerate the result for an area, click on its pin. So if, for say, you look over here, this is a perfect example. I'll turn it off and then turn it back on. So off and then on. So there's more happening than just removing the people, because it's got to do some repair work on the photo to make those people go away. And in fact, there's a little car on the bottom right hand corner of the photo, and you can see that it also got rid of that. So I'm glad it did. But if you find something that doesn't look right, if something looks off to you, you can click on that pin, and then you can go click on generate again. You can actually click on the pin and also see different variations of what it can do with the photo. So it's giving you 3 different variations. So it is a generative AI tool. But if you're not happy with any of them, you can go in there and click on regenerate, or you can just hit reset to reset it all, or close when you're done. Speaking of being done, we are not done. We got a very quick 30-45 second word from our sponsor, which is always me. Got to pay the bills. If you haven't seen the landscape masking feature inside of all Adobe programs, Lightroom, Lightroom Classic, Adobe Camera Raw, it's really compelling. It essentially segments out your scene automatically into masks based on the landscape. And it's good for any outdoor photo. You've got vegetation, it's got roads, it's got water, mountains, things like that. So it essentially segments out that scene, and it allows us to create some really powerful masks. And what you can do with these masks, to me, it's one of the biggest changes that we've had to Lightroom. I created a little mini course. It's got some training in it to get you up to speed on it, because I want you to know how to use these things, because they will change your editing. And then it's also got some presets that kind of give you a little bit of a springboard into using some of those features, or maybe even to saving some time with your photos. Again, it's a very compelling compelling feature. Of all the features that have come out from Adobe in the last few years, to me, it's one of the biggest ones. So hope you'll swing by and check out that course. Really help the learning curve and get you there faster. Very affordable, very easy to watch, and we will get back to the tutorial now. Okay, so our next feature up here is reflection removal. I actually had to go take a picture of my cat last Christmas with a little Christmas tree, because I try not to take pictures with reflections in them, but I get it. Sometimes it happens. We can't control it, whatever happens. So we come back over here, we're in develop, we just go to that little eraser icon. It's then in the same place under distraction removal. You'll see the reflection icon there. So click on it. And there's not too many things that we can do with it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just click apply. Again, I'd already done it and practiced this before. This one took me about 8 or 9 seconds. So just be prepared for it to take you a little bit of time. Once it does, it does a really good job of removing the reflection. It even, like, there's a little water drain on my back porch back there. You can even see it actually tried to remove that. Not too many settings with it. It's essentially because some people might like a little bit of the effect of a reflection, especially I would think for street photography and certain things. They essentially gave you a little opacity slider here. So it goes from 100, it goes down to 0 in the middle. So that's as if you never did anything. But then you can go the opposite way, and it has the effect of almost removing your subject inside of it. But it's there. Give it a try if that's something that you need to use. As far as quality goes, there's a preview quality. You could leave it set to that and it'll happen a lot faster. Again, when you're doing it, it might take a little bit of time. So there's a preview quality, there's standard, and then there's best. I would say if it's a photo that you really love, you might want to go in there and click on best. You can see it takes about 3 times as long, but I would probably do that for photos that I really liked if it wasn't just a snapshot of some sort. So again, not too many settings here other than you can turn it off, turn it back on. The distraction removal section has an eyeball icon. So if you did people and reflections, there's a little icon in there to turn it all off, or go in there and turn it all on. Again, you can hit reset to get back to where you were, or hit close to close the panel altogether and go back into our edit controls. Interesting little side point, Adobe put up a little tooltip the first time you launched Lightroom Classic after this update, and I know a lot of us skip through these things, but they did give you a workflow tip of when you should use this feature. So they're suggesting that you should use it after any enhanced features, which we're actually going to talk about next. You would see photo enhance, and there's also a panel in the develop module, especially DeNoise. So it should be used after any enhanced features, but before any other edits. So that's the general workflow that they're giving you. Lightroom's not going to explode if you don't, but that is what they're suggesting. While we're talking about this stuff, Lightroom also has these features, as does Camera Raw. So if you were inside of Lightroom, you would go under the right-hand side is where all your icons are. There's the little eraser icon in there, and then you will see reflections and people, and they work exactly the same as I just demonstrated inside of Classic. Now, another feature that I know a lot of you high ISO photographers are going to be really happy with is the adjustments to Lightroom's DeNoise feature. Okay, so you go over here to the detail panel. DeNoise has been here for a while, and it's been good for a while. It's been good for a few years. But the problem with DeNoise was it had to create a duplicate copy of the photo as a DNG format. Okay, and so it was non-destructive in the way that I guess you could always get back to your original photo, but it wasn't truly non-destructive because it made another copy of your photo. Well, now you can go into detail, you can click on DeNoise. It's going to apply it to the photo, but it's not going to create a duplicate copy of it. So it really is truly non-destructive because now it's applied to the original photo. So you can always come back here. You can always turn it off if you want. I'll go ahead and zoom in on the photo. We can see what the before and then after of it looked like. And then you still have your little adjustment slider there. Now you can, again, it's non-destructive. So you can come in here and apply it at any point. You don't have to decide what this number is going to be before you apply DeNoise and then maybe have to undo it and come back and check it and redo it. You can always come in here and adjust that amount setting inside there, which I generally leave somewhere between 60 and 70%. But the feature itself, again, I'll turn, that's the before That's the after. The feature itself hasn't really changed. Everything else is the same. It always has applied Lightroom's sharpening feature, which is raw details. It's always applied that along with DeNoise, so it does that as well there. And then again, another good opportunity to show the new little icon here for your AI edit status. So it's yellow, telling me that it needs attention, and it's saying because I did apply that automatic AI adaptive profile to my photo first, it's saying that needs to be updated based on what the AI DeNoise just did to the photo. So you can always go back up in there if anything needs your attention and click on it and reapply any of your AI settings. But just good to know that now we don't have to create a duplicate copy of our photo anymore to use the DeNoise feature inside of Adobe. So it's a very welcome change to all high ISO photographers. Also, earlier on, I mentioned that Lightroom has these landscape masking features that got added a couple of months ago. If you haven't seen it, I've got a free video for you where I really go into it. I dive into what those masks are, how to use them. So if you're looking for a video to go to next, that's a great place to check out.